You might have thought it was a friend's kid. You might have thought it was a grandkid or a great grandkid. No, it is Robert De Niro and his 11-month-old grandchild. I'm sorry, his 11-month-old child. Now, I don't doubt they love each other. That baby looks as happy as any baby in the history of babies. That baby love her daddy. And I don't doubt that Robert De Niro loves that baby to the moon and back. There is no doubt about the love between them, despite the 80-year difference. But here's my issue. And this has been an issue since it was first announced that he was having a baby at 79 years old. This is irresponsible. Now, I don't normally make comments about people's choices around reproduction. I don't care what you do. If you want to have a baby, have a baby. If you, as long as you're grown and responsible, and it's consensual, who cares, right? But this is our business, and I'll tell you why. Robert De Niro is 80 years old with a baby that's not yet one. When the baby is 10, he will be 90. When the baby is 20, he will be 100. So, given the life expectancy of the average human being in the world, and certainly in the United States, even rich and white and middle class, upper middle class, culturally, on top of the wealth financially, you make good choices. You go to the doctor, you drink your water, you eat your vitamins, you say your prayers. You can do all that you want. But at the end of the day, if you have a baby at 80, it is highly unlikely that the child will have a living father when he or she turns 18. And it's relatively unlikely that the child will have a living father at 10 or 12. It's just a fact. This is just a fact. This isn't me wishing bad news. I hope Robert De Niro lives to be 110, and I hope he has health and joy and everything else. Just don't make no more Godfathers. But what I can't just say nothing about is this idea that because you're 80 and have the ability to reproduce, and we could talk about that, that's a whole other conversation, right? Like the fact that you're reproducing with somebody young enough to have a child, that means that person is probably 35 or 40 at the oldest. So you're already 50 or 45 years older than the person you're dating. A little creepy to me too, but again, that's your business. It's not for me to judge. But what is for me to judge, I believe, for all of us to judge, is this idea that you're going to have a child at the age of 80. Having a child at 47 makes sense to me. Having a child at 50 makes sense to me. Again, I'm not saying your child has to be 40 or 50 when they lose their parent, right? But when you have a child at 80, you are guaranteeing, for the most part, barring something extraordinary, at the age of 80, you are virtually guaranteeing that your child will lose at least one parent before they become a teenager. And that is selfish. And that is dangerous. Losing a parent is traumatic. I lost my father 3 years ago. And I'm still scarred by it. I'm still hurt by it. I was in my 40s when he died. He was in his 90s. And yeah, you're going to lose your parent at some point. And some people have to lose their parent at 25 or 22 or 18 or 15 or 12. It's part of life. But it's a part of life that we prepare for as a possibility, as an unfortunate possibility. That's very different